Time now to welcome in the head coach of Utah State, Matt Wells. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
So I want to talk to you about last year. Your team made it back to a bowl game after missing out in 2016. When you look at last season, what is the biggest lesson that you take away from that season?
Probably just continue to coach with patience. We had the fourth highest amount of first-year starters in Division I last year, so we had a lot of youth, talented but very youthful players. And I think just continuing to coach them and be patient, and hopefully you can kind of reap some of the benefits or the rewards this year and next year, because we have a lot of guys coming back, over 50 lettermen and 18 starters. So, just learning to continue to set the standard, but yet stay patient with their development.
You mentioned all of these guys coming back. Quarterback Jordan Love is one of them. What should we expect to see from him this season?
Well, what I hope to see is a more mature quarterback in terms of the knowledge of our offense and going through his progressions and some of those things. There are some fundamental things that I think he's got to continue to improve on. He had a really good spring, a whole lot more this summer to improve on, but he is bigger and stronger. He's up to 220 pounds. And so this young man, I think his best football is ahead of him. And as he continues to make strides and improve, I think our offense will follow suit.
And let's talk about the guys protecting him. You have 5 starting offensive linemen that are returning. Just how important is that to this team this year?
Well, it brings a lot of continuity up front, not only in the passing game in terms of the communication and setting the protections, but also in the running game. We have a few redshirt freshmen that are going to compete for some immediate playing time, which will continue to I think, strengthen the depth of our offensive line. And those guys they're confident. They're kind of the backbone of this offense. And so, contrary to a year ago when we were redeveloping and basically rebuilding the entire offensive line, we've got them all back. I'm not even sure if all 5 of them are going to start this year, because we've got some redshirt freshmen that I think they're the future of this program that'll compete for some playing time.
Not a bad thing to have options, that is for sure. Now, we talked a lot about the returners, but one new addition to this team is defensive coordinator Keith Patterson. What can you tell us about him and what we can expect from him and how he's fitting into this program?
Yeah, he's fit in great. Keith and I go way back. We spent 5 years together at the University of Tulsa, so I knew exactly what we'd be getting. And what we get with him is a tremendous teacher. You need to change that visor right over there. He's not at West Virginia anymore. Get a tremendous teacher, a great motivator, a guy that has experience in an odd front defense. But he's coming in here and he has learned the Utah State defense that every defensive coordinator since we've had has been here and that has done that. And then he'll put his wrinkles on it. He'll change a few things and tweak a few things, but the nuts and bolts of what we have done on defense won't change under Keith. He'll continue to be a part of our defensive staff in building this up, and so hopefully we have the best product we've ever had on defense.
And wearing lots of Utah State visors while doing it, certainly. What is the goal number 1 when you look at this program for this upcoming year?
Well, the goal remains unchanged since I've become the head coach, and that's number 1, to graduate every one of our seniors on time or early. And for 6 straight years, we've done that with every senior in the program except 3. So I'm proud of that. And so the second part of that goal is to get to the month of November and compete for a Mountain West championship. We've been in bowl games 6 out of the last 7 years. And so we've done that, but we need to take another step as a program and compete for that the last weekend in November. We've done that 2 out of our 5 years here, the first 2 years. And so we need to get back to making that last weekend a chance to compete for the Mountain Division Championship, first of all, and put yourself in a position to be in the championship game.
Well, Coach, we look forward to watching you and your team this fall. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We appreciate it.
Okay, thanks for having me on.